An extraordinary sequence of events now. So the latest object to be shot out of the sky by the US military was over Lake Huron, which is between Michigan and Canada. We knew that the FAA had closed airspace for a period a few hours ago, and it appears that it was at that time that they've taken action to decommission, as it's been put, this latest object. The original reporting actually came from a congressman who noted that the object had been knocked out, but that has since been confirmed by officials. But again, we're not exactly sure what exactly this object is. And given that we've now had this sequence of events, there's now been 3 shot down by US military in the last 3 days. You had Alaska on Friday local time, then you had the Yukon on Saturday, and now this over Lake Huron, and obviously this follows the downing of the Chinese balloon, which is suspected to be a surveillance balloon off the coast of South Carolina just over a week ago. Now, the Biden administration was criticised by some people for how long they took to knock that balloon out of the sky. They waited until it had reached the Atlantic Ocean before taking it out. It is possible that the reason we are seeing them now take such quick action is because they believe it's better, it's more prudent to knock these things out before they assess fully what they are. It does appear that all 3 at this point were unmanned, and that is an important, obviously, factor in determining whether or not you're actually going to shoot something out of the sky. And at this point, they do appear to be very different in appearance than that Chinese balloon that we saw knocked out of the sky over a week ago. They're much smaller. They seem to be flying at a much lower altitude, which is part of the reason, at least for the first 2, we're waiting for a more formal statement from the administration. But in the case of the Yukon object and the Alaskan object, they were seen to be flying in an area that could have put them into potentially conflict with civil aviation. So again, part of the argument from both the officials here in the United States but also in Canada was that the determination was that they needed to take them out. Also, an important factor that they had been in relatively remote areas. From here, the process is to basically find the debris and then to tell us exactly what they are. We heard from Chuck Schumer, who's the majority leader in the Senate. He's a Democrat here in the United States. He earlier said that he believes that those 2, again, the Yukon and Alaskan objects were balloons, but that has not been formally confirmed by the administration at this point. So a lot of unanswered questions. This is a particularly puzzling episode, and we wait to see if we can get further clarification about exactly what it is that is being shot out of the sky by the United States military.
And Carrington, when that first balloon popped up last week, there was discussion obviously around things then, and the official word came that there had actually been several similar objects in previous months. Was that the case?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's not unusual for there to be unidentified aerial phenomenon in the United States. In fact, they average one every couple of days. So usually there is nothing particularly sinister about them. They're relatively innocuous. So the question at this point is, why are we seeing this spate, this series now of objects that have been deemed necessary to be knocked out of the sky?
Yeah.
Is it because there are more of them, or is it because the administration is under pressure to knock them out early? And we're really not going to know until they've looked at this debris and give us a more full answer about that. It does seem coincidental, it does seem strange, but it is possible that they've just made a different determination about the necessity to actually knock these objects out earlier, as opposed to there actually being more of them.